They told you weight loss was easy. They lied. They said if you just ate less and move more and have more willpower, you're going to lose weight. That if you failed, it's your fault. But if that were true, why do so many successful high achieving women struggle with this? If weight loss was just about discipline, why does motivation disappear the second things get hard? And if it was just about trying harder, why hasn't that worked yet? Maybe the real problem isn't you. Maybe the system was rigged long before you even started. Hey, it's Holly Bertone here. This episode's personal because I know how it feels to doubt yourself after failing time after time after time. I know what it's like to be smart and successful and capable in every other area of life, but feel like you're spinning your wheels when it comes to weight loss. And I know how easy it is to think, maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't have what it takes. But let's get one thing straight right now. You, my friend, are not the problem. The system is. They told you that weight loss was just a matter of eating less and moving more. They said if you just have more discipline, you're going to be fine. You're going to work. It's going to work. They told you if you failed, that it's your fault. Well, guess what? They lied. When I was the FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence, one of the most effective traps, it wasn't force. It's the honeypot. Okay, Holly, what's a honeypot? It's a trap that's disguised as an opportunity. It's designed to lure you in by appealing to your desires, but with a secret agenda. You see, in espionage, a honeypot, she's a beautiful and charming woman, and she gains a man's confidence with the sole and only intent of extracting confidential information. So the target believes he's making his own choices, but in reality, he is totally being played. Like Charlie Daniels' fiddle. Think Vesper Lind in Casino Royale. Remember James Bond, he fell for her. He trusted her. He believed she was different. But in the end, she was just totally compromised. Or take a real-life honeypot. In 2010, the FBI took down 10 Russian spies in the biggest counterintelligence investigation in FBI history. It was just like the TV show The Americans, but it was real life. And Anna Chapman was one of the spies. She used her beauty and her charm to get close to her targets. And then after the arrest, this was the craziest plot twist. She took advantage of that honeypot image, and she ended up on the cover of Maxim Russia. She was dressed in black leather that, keeping it G-rated, let's just say it didn't cover much. And she's holding a gun, and she's got the whole thing was just perpetuating this whole James Bond kind of persona. Feel free to Google it if you want. But here's the thing. Diet culture is the exact same trap. It's Vesper Lind. It's Anna Chapman. It lures you in. It's got these promises of these quick results and is massive weight loss. The calories in, the calories out, the count your calories, count your points, count your macros, eat that sad little salad, do more cardio, get your 10,000 steps in, have more willpower. It's mind over matter. But in reality, it's just a honeypot. It is a setup. Feel like you're eating healthy and following the diet, but then you're either not losing the weight or even worse, you're gaining weight. And then you quit the diet, you feel bad about yourself, and then blame yourself for yet another failure. Have you ever stopped to wonder, should I be questioning the system instead of questioning myself? So let's talk about the 3 reasons why you keep doubting yourself after failing. Because I am here to tell you, this is not your fault. But first, let's talk about what got you here in the first place. I can predict with 87% certainty the exact moment you quit your diet. Because you start strong, you've got that eye of the tiger energy, you're ready to conquer the world, but it didn't last. Okay, why is that? Why does that happen? Well, it's always going to be one of 2 things. Either the thing you're doing gets hard. It's easier to keep up with the diet or the sad little salads for lunch or waking up earlier and going to the gym. Or something happens, an obstacle pops up. It's a rainy day, you have to stay late at work, and it just makes the thing that you want to do difficult. So either the thing itself gets difficult or the situation to do the thing gets difficult. And then when either the thing or the situation gets difficult, that is the exact moment when everyone quits. Okay, why is this important? Because when you know why you quit, you can stop thinking it's a motivation problem and reality, start to understand that it is a pattern problem. So if you're not losing weight, if the comfort food and the cravings and the emotional eating, they are taking over. If you're beyond frustrated because it's been one failure after another, if you keep doubting yourself that you're ever going to be able to get to the other side, I'm here to tell you this. You are not broken. You are just fighting the wrong battle. And what makes it even worse is that most high-achieving women, they go about it the wrong way when they try to break out of this cycle. And there are 3 big mistakes that keep these women stuck. 3 very specific traps that make it feel like you are failing no matter how hard you try. And that last one, that one is really going to hit home. This one, the last mistake, that's the one that diet culture never wants you to figure out. Because once you see it, you are never going to fall for that trap again. But first, let's talk about that first mistake and how your brain is wired to sabotage you before you even start, and what you can do instead. Okay, mistake number 1 is you try to start fresh without even addressing those automatic patterns and beliefs that your brain is stuck in. So you get excited, got the whole eye of the tiger energy going on. You talk about, I'm just going to start on Monday. You say, this time will be different. But what happens after a few days, few weeks, few months? Everything falls apart. And then you spend time marinating in that poopy diaper, eating whatever you want because, I've already gained the weight back. What's the point? And then you get that bolt of energy and you do it again. And you talk about starting on Monday and you say, this time's going to be different. And then you're stuck in this failure loop. And you're stuck blaming yourself. Here's the thing. The problem isn't you. And honestly, the problem isn't even the diet. It's the pattern that's underneath. You see, you're addressing losing weight like the part of the iceberg that you can see, this tiny little part that's above the surface. That's diet culture. But if you want to tackle this from a sustainable perspective, you have to look under the surface and address that big piece of the iceberg. And that pattern is this failure loop in your brain. So every time you start the diet, you get motivated, you fall off track. Your brain stores that experience, and it's called neuroplasticity. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated experiences. So when you try to start again, your brain's like, oh, we've done this before and it didn't work. And it sabotages you before you even begin. It's like if you dated 3 guys in a row and they wore blue baseball caps and they all broke your heart. And then the next time the guy asks you out and he's wearing a blue baseball cap, your brain is saying, oh, HE double hockey sticks, no. And it's going to sabotage us before you even get to know him. Or if you do give him the benefit of the doubt and you start dating, he's like, oh my goodness, he's this wonderful guy. He's amazing. He's not like the others. But your brain is going to be like, his ear looks funny. Why on earth would you want to date a guy? Why would you want to be seen with date a guy whose ear looks funny? So you break up with him because his ear looks funny? Okay, that is self-sabotage. So the truth is that it is not the diet. It's the pattern. You can't out-diet years and years and decades of conditioning this emotional programming. So instead of just jumping into another plan or another diet, focus on changing the way that your brain responds to food, to stress, to those emotional triggers. And once that's taken care of, then and only then should you be focusing on the food. Mistake number 2 is you double down on that discipline, thinking willpower is going to fix everything. You believe that you failed because you didn't try hard enough. So you push yourself harder, eat less calories, try to exercise more, rely on the willpower, but willpower always runs out. And I've talked about this before. Your brain uses food to regulate the stress, to reward you, and to comfort those big emotions. So you're not eating because you're hungry. You're eating because your brain has learned food is the fastest way to feel better. And then when you try to cut it out, your brain fights back with this meltdown of toddler proportions. And this is from years of programming from many different sources. And most of these sources, not all, but many of them are innocent and well-meaning. You've got the pizza party after the game, the ice cream for good grades, the lollipop for being a good girl waiting in line at the bank. You see, our brains have made that connection. Food equals comfort. Food equals I'm valued. Food equals I'm a good girl. Millions and millions and millions of times over and over and over, decade after decade after decade. So the truth is, willpower is a finite resource. Your brain is not wired to fight cravings. Your brain is wired to seek comfort and to seek dopamine. In Baumeister's study, what they found was that the more decisions you make during the day, the more your willpower is depleted. And think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you probably have pretty good willpower. But what's it like at the end of the day after a long day at work and a long day of taking care of your family? It's probably gone, right? I mean, think about it. If every time you got stressed, your first instinct, you're going to go grab a snack. So it's not about the willpower. It's about this comfort craving cycle. And it's almost like, let's say you're drying your hair with a heavy hair dryer, and you're holding this hair dryer above your head. At first it's easy, but then the longer you hold it, the harder it gets. And eventually your arm's just going to give out because the hair dryer is heavy, and you're like, I can't hold my arm up that long, and you just get exhausted. So that's exactly how willpower works. So it's not that you fail, it's that you are running on empty. So instead of trying to hold that hair dryer up longer, just use a strategy that doesn't drain you in the first place. So instead of fighting those cravings in that moment, what you need to do is learn how to break the pattern before the craving even hits. Get to know your triggers, get to know your cravings. Mistake number 3 is, this is the big one, is that you assume that your past predicts your future. I've failed before, so I'm going to fail again. After years of dieting, when you're starting to believe that the problem is you, assuming weight loss is impossible because it's never worked for me before, or when it did work, I ended up gaining the weight right back. You see, diet culture tells women that if we can't lose weight, then it's our fault. There's something wrong with us. We're not disciplined. We're lazy. We're not trying hard enough. We don't want it bad enough. And we believe the lies. I mean, think about it. You got good grades in school. You're successful with your career. You have this amazing family. You know how to be successful. And then you look at your weight and you're like, what is wrong with me? How can I be successful in all these other areas of my life and totally suck at this? And especially if you're eating healthy the majority of the time, and what worked in your 30s is not working anymore in your 40s and your 50s and beyond. And the truth is, diet culture wants you to fail, because the more you fail, the more you become a repeat customer. The more you fail, the more you become a repeat customer, the more you eat. The more you eat, the more weight you gain. The more you fail, the more you become a repeat customer. Diet culture is the ultimate honeypot. So how do we fix this? Stop blaming yourself and start questioning the system. I mean, imagine going to a casino to play blackjack, but you never win. I mean, it's blackjack. You're always going to win sometimes. Right? If you keep playing and you keep losing, at what point do you ask, is the game rigged? So rebel against the system. Stop dieting. Start rebuilding trust with your body. The only way to win is to stop playing by their rules and start playing by your own. And that's exactly what I help you do inside of the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator. This isn't about helping you lose weight. It's helping you become the kind of woman who never struggles with food again. And that is a huge difference. And I am not going to lie to you. This is hard. This is just about trying harder at finding the perfect plan. This is about unraveling decades of programming. Your brain has been wired to believe dieting is the answer. Success equals restriction. Failure equals your fault. So yes, it is going to take work to undo this. That's actually a good thing, because you didn't get where you are by avoiding challenges. You've built your career, you've raised your family, you've already proven you can do hard things. And now it is time to rise to this challenge too. Because once you change the way you think about food and dieting in your body, you are never going to struggle with this again. So here's the real question. Are you going to keep believing the lie that you just need to try harder? Or are you ready to step into the truth that your brain has been trained to expect failure and the real work is rewiring it for success? The choice is yours. I can't wait to see you rewrite this story that you've been telling yourself. Let me know. What's the biggest lie that you've believed about weight loss? I want to celebrate you. And not just for rebelling against diet culture, but for trusting yourself again, for knowing that you don't need a new diet. You don't need another set of rules. You don't need someone else's permission to live fully. I want to celebrate you making choices for you, making choices on your terms. And now that you know that you are rebelling against the diet culture lies, you might be thinking, yeah, but Holly, I know how to run my career. I know how to lead a team, but weight loss is just different. It's personal. If you're thinking that, you're not alone. And I hear this all the time because those same habits and discipline and hard work that make you successful in your career do not work with weight loss. And that is exactly what we're diving into next week. Why everything that makes you a high achiever in your career could actually be working against you when it comes to weight loss, and what to do instead. I'll see you then.